You know, the boy set the alopecia trail record, run 2,180 miles in 45 days.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Welcome to Pure Running Shoe Reviews. This is episode 6, and alongside me I have Pierce McShane, and my name is Colin McCambridge, and today we are reviewing the Hoka Speedgoat version 4. But before we get into this week's shoe review, Pierce, big weekend last weekend?
Yeah, so obviously race weekend, we had a competition, so we did. Congratulations to the winner. She done well, so she did. Pretty close to the time. Yeah, but no, it was nice little championships. The swim at the start was a wee bit rougher than I thought it was going to be. It was like a boxing fight, so it was. So I got pretty beat up. But coming out onto the run, it was like a cross country course, so it wasn't the quickest course I've ever run in my life. But that was just good to be back racing.
What was it, 5 laps?
5 laps, yes, which was...
How'd you find the laps overall?
Well, I'm not great at counting. So no, it was fine. So it was, it was 5 laps. It was grassy, it was mucky, and then there was a slight kind of, I think it was about 100 metres incline.
Okay,
back down it, so it was
a tough enough course.
It was a tough enough course, especially after a swim. It was brutal.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
But,
Fair play.
Yeah, no, good to be back racing. So
yeah, that's good.
First and last race of the season.
More to come. More
to come.
Yeah, so we'll dive into a bit of the shoe here. So, I mean, Hoka. This is the Hoka trail shoe, the Speedgoat. Quite popular wee shoe.
Yeah.
Very, very soft feeling to it.
Yeah. But
I mean,
even the history of it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's designed after a guy called, I think it's called Card.
Yeah, Card. Yeah.
But pretty much the idea was he's doing crazy ultramarathon. So he was.
Yeah.
In fact, he holds the alopecia trail record, which is I think it's 2,190 miles. Over the space of 45 days.
Can you imagine doing that?
No,
that's more than like I would do in a year.
But crazy long miles. And I think he actually had maybe 6 or 7 pairs of these lined up over that 45-day period. But for anyone that doesn't know who he is or hasn't watched the documentary, I think wherever I have it, it's called Made to Be Broken, so isn't it? It's on Netflix and YouTube, but it's definitely one to watch. So
was this shoe specifically made for that event then, really, was it? Or,
well,
it's
so pretty much Carl's nickname is the Speedgoat, so this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he lives in the mountains and he's a machine. Bit of both, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure this shoe is modelled off
that sort of
his style, so
that's cool. Like,
it's pretty cushioned, it's pretty quick, so it is, and it's designed to go super long distances. But
yeah, I mean, I think as well, like we're going to compare this to the previous model. So this is the fourth. And I think in the upper, I'll dive into the upper. Yeah. So the upper here, they've changed quite a lot actually. They've tweaked it a little bit, you know. They've made the upper a lot more breathable than previous models. Yeah. They've also made there's a bit more of like a lock into the laces.
Yeah,
so you feel that a little bit when you're running, but I mean it's not annoying or anything. You just you feel a lot more locked into the shoe. But yeah, they've changed the breathable mesh on the top of it. They've also added in these 3D overlays along the side here. So it gives that a bit more of a snugger fit. Yeah. One thing I will say about the fit is I usually wear a 9.5 in most shoes. I probably have to go a 10 in this one. It's a little bit narrower than normal, you know. It also has a 4mm drop from heel toe, so it's actually like it's quite low to the ground, even though they've got quite a bit of slack height there.
Most Hoka shoes tend to be around about 4 or 5mm, so it shouldn't be too much of an adjustment.
And I mean, light enough as well. 306 grams, not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, the upper quite breathable in comparison to the older models. The laces definitely are locked in a little bit more there, so it's not going to slip. It's a nice fit along the top. No real issues. It seems to be going well. What do you think about the sole?
Yeah, so the cushioning it's designed of this kind of more lightweight cushioning. Obviously, like I said, it's meant to be a bit more of a quicker shoe, so it is. Speedgoat, that's the name. So it's got this kind of lighter Hoka cushioning in it. So it is pretty lightweight for an ultramarathon distance shoe. But in terms of the kind of grip on the shoe, which is the main part of a trail shoe, I think it's got these 5mm lugs on them. So it's It's pretty deep, so this no, it's not the deepest shoe where you would have like your innovative mud claws and stuff would be your kind of go-to fair running shoe.
So would you say like if you're running the trail, they would be okay?
Oh yeah.
So if you had to run a bit of the road, they're not going to get
so even going off that, the likes of the Alpine Trail, it's a mixture of road, mud, everything pretty much. So although it's not classed as an ATR shoe or an all-terrain shoe, I would still say you should be fine.
So if you're like running from your house to a trail, it's
say you're running from here to Divis Mountain, for instance, you're going to be fine. So you are. As well, in terms of the grip, they have this kind of fibre grip, so they do, which is this black stuff here, which I don't know if you can see. But it's meant to be a bit more grippier on the likes of rocks and stuff like that. But pretty much all in, like you said, it's 4mm drop. It comes in at 306 grams, which
it's not bad.
Which is meant to be a trail shoe. It's
especially for a shoe like Hoka, like a lot of people come in, they're like, "Wow, they look really big," and I mean they are very light for their size, and the cushion in them is next to nothing. Like you literally just feel like you're walking on clouds and running on clouds in the shoe. Like it's a nice shoe.
And to be fair, one thing I noticed with Hoka, their big selling point is obviously that nether rocker to have built into the shoe. Which it actually felt quite a lot
in this one,
the Speedgoat, it felt like it was definitely forcing me forward as I was running. But the one thing I can't get over is high cushioned and how soft and bouncy and responsive it feels.
Very responsive, I find.
Compared to any other trail shoe I've ever worn in the past, and the likes of Adidas or anything I've worn, they've always felt super firm, and it is a common trait to find in this trail shoe that it will be firmer. Just with the cushioning being a bit firmer, meant to be a wee bit more stable, so you're not kind of moving about too much. You don't feel that in this shoe.
I find like you really do feel like, I think, marshmallow feel. I think it's a really marshmallow feel, and it's really nice actually. When you're running over that sort of terrain as well, and you've got that cushion, and it's nice. Like because when you run over heavy rocks and stuff, and you're washing your feet, you do want a nice, comfortable shoe on, and I think this shoe particularly will protect you quite well from. Especially the elements too. When you run over the mountains and you've got the rain, you've got any sort of weather's going to hit you, the upper is very durable. So it is the sole as well, pretty durable. You'll get about 500-600 miles out of this shoe. Definitely.
And obviously mixture with their kind of 3D printed mesh upper on it. I think it is. It's a pretty interesting shoe.
Well, I mean, the big question.
Oh yeah.
How does it rate 5? This is it. First trail shoe in the show.
I actually love it. So I like the story behind it. I like the feel of it compared to any other trail shoe I've worn. I would probably go maybe 3.5, 4 out of 5.
We're going 0.5s now.
We're going to the decimal points. Something at some points that was. But no, for me, I love the story behind it. I think it's a pretty interesting and cool shoe. So I'm going to go for a 4.
A 4? Happy days.
I
mean, it is a very nice shoe. It's a lot different than any other sort of trail shoe I've ever had on. Definitely, I've never had a trail shoe that has that marshmallow feel. So it's really nice. You got that rocker and it rolls in your toes. Really comes into play when you start to get tired. If you're going out for a long run and you're up over the mountains and you're getting that point where you're like, oh geez, I want to be home, I'm getting really tired here. You got that rocker and it gets you on your toes, a bit more effective, a bit more efficient. Definitely nice, smooth transition from heel to toe. I would say for the first trail shoe that we've reviewed on the show, I would definitely absolutely solid 4. Absolutely. Great shoe.
But
absolutely,
the one thing I would say be careful of, when I come down, you can try it on the shop, but can't be in stock at the minute. It is quite narrow and it's small fitting, so you might need to go up a half size. But with the Speedgoat, there is another variation, so you can get a Gore-Tex version.
So if
you're looking something a bit more waterproof again, let us know. I'm not going to get it for you. But pretty much that's the Speedgoat. So it is. That's our first trail shoe review. We should be doing
plenty more to come, hopefully.
In the next couple of weeks, but keep an eye out and we'll let you know.
Definitely. Thank you very much for tuning in this week, and we'll be back again hopefully next week with some more videos of more shoes. If you've got any recommendations, anything you want us to review,
questions or anything, comment below or send us a message directly. But thanks for watching.